Are you stuck, feeling like you've hit a ceiling, despite all the books you've read and the courses you've taken? You're not alone. Many intelligent, driven individuals plateau, not because they lack potential, but because they're missing a critical piece of the learning puzzle. We currently live in an era characterized by unprecedented information overload. We are constantly bombarded with data, insights, and perspectives, consuming content voraciously and often indiscriminately. We operate under the assumption that with each article read, each video watched, each podcast listened to, and each online course completed, we're inching closer and closer to some perceived level of mastery. We diligently apply what we learn, meticulously tweak our approach based on the immediate feedback we receive, and earnestly strive for continuous incremental improvement. All of this is undeniably good, even absolutely necessary. It forms the foundation of growth. However, it's fundamentally not enough to reach true expertise and impactful influence. Think of it like embarking on the ambitious project of building a house. You meticulously study blueprints, immersing yourself in the intricacies of architectural design. You learn about the vast array of available building materials, from the strength of steel to the insulating properties of various wood types. You master the fundamental techniques of construction, diligently practicing everything from laying the foundation to framing the walls. You then proceed to build your own house, encountering inevitable challenges along the way. You make necessary adjustments to your plans, adapt to unforeseen circumstances, and continuously refine your construction skills based on your practical experiences. But the true and ultimate test of your understanding of construction principles comes not from simply building your own house, but from guiding and mentoring someone else through the entire intricate process, from initial concept to final completion. The often overlooked and crucial missing link, the transformative phase that unlocks truly exponential growth and profound understanding, is the act of teaching. It's the deliberate and intentional act of taking your hard-earned knowledge, your accumulated experiences, your carefully honed skills, and proactively sharing them with other individuals. This is absolutely not about simply lecturing or pontificating from a position of perceived authority. It's about thoughtfully guiding, patiently mentoring, and skillfully facilitating the learning process for someone else, enabling them to grasp complex concepts and develop practical skills. It's in this phase that the real untapped power of lifelong learning is definitively unlocked, transforming passive consumption into active contribution. A common and pervasive misconception is that teaching is a domain exclusively reserved for experts, seasoned professors, academic researchers, or highly experienced industry professionals. Many individuals mistakenly believe that they need to reach some arbitrary, self-defined level of unassailable expertise before they are even remotely qualified to share their knowledge, skills, and insights with others. This is a demonstrably dangerous misconception and a self-limiting belief that tragically holds back countless individuals from realizing their full potential and making a significant impact on the world around them. It's a subtle form of self-sabotage. Let's break down the natural evolution of learning into 3 distinct phases. Phase 1, absorption. This is the initial stage where you passively consume information. You read books, watch videos, listen to podcasts, attend workshops, and soak up knowledge from teachers, mentors, and society in general. This is the foundation upon which all future learning is built, but it's just the beginning. Phase 2, application. This is where you put your newfound knowledge into practice. You take action in the real world, experiment with different approaches, and learn from your mistakes. You get feedback, make corrections, and iterate until you achieve your desired outcome. This phase is crucial for solidifying your understanding and developing practical skills. Phase 3, teaching. This is the transformative phase where you share your knowledge with others. You guide, mentor, and facilitate the learning process for someone else. This could involve teaching a class, leading a workshop, mentoring a colleague, or simply sharing your experiences and insights with friends and family. This phase unlocks a deeper level of understanding and accelerates your personal growth. Why is teaching so powerful? Because it forces you to confront the gaps in your own understanding. When you attempt to explain a concept to someone else, you quickly realize what you truly know and what you only think you know. You're forced to articulate your thoughts clearly and concisely, which requires a deeper level of comprehension. Imagine you're learning to play the guitar. You can practice for hours, mastering chords and scales, but until you try to teach someone else, you won't truly understand the nuances of the instrument. Teaching forces you to break down complex concepts into simpler terms, identify common pitfalls, and develop effective strategies for overcoming challenges. It exposes the flaws in your own technique and pushes you to find more efficient and effective ways of learning. Joe Satriani, arguably the greatest guitar player of all time, is also known as one of the top guitar teachers, proving that mastery and teaching often go hand in hand. Moreover, teaching provides invaluable feedback. Your students or mentees will ask questions you haven't considered, challenge your assumptions, and point out inconsistencies in your reasoning. This feedback is essential for refining your knowledge and developing a more nuanced understanding of the subject matter. It also helps you identify areas where you need to improve your own skills and knowledge. This is self-improvement in its purest form. Consider a martial artist. They spend years honing their skills, mastering techniques, and developing their physical prowess. But it's only when they begin teaching others that they truly become masters. Teaching forces them to analyze their own movements, identify weaknesses, and develop strategies for improving their students' performance. Through this process, they gain a deeper understanding of the art and become more effective practitioners themselves. Or think about a parent. They navigate the challenges of raising children, learning from their mistakes, and constantly adapting their approach. But it's through teaching their children values, skills, and life lessons that they become philosophers. They're forced to reflect on their own beliefs, articulate their principles, and guide their children towards a meaningful life. This process deepens their understanding of themselves and the world around them. Even a construction worker can elevate their learning through teaching. Imagine a seasoned carpenter mentoring a new apprentice. By patiently guiding the apprentice through each step of the process, explaining the rationale behind each decision, and providing constructive feedback, the carpenter reinforces their own knowledge and develops a deeper appreciation for their craft. They also gain a fresh perspective on their work, identifying opportunities for innovation and improvement. By watching their own lessons reflected through the apprentice's progress, the carpenter solidifies their expertise and becomes a more effective craftsman. Teaching fosters a growth mindset. It encourages you to embrace challenges, view failures as learning opportunities, and persist in the face of adversity. It also holds you accountable to your words. When you teach something, you're making a commitment to uphold the principles you're espousing. This creates a powerful incentive to live up to your own standards and continuously strive for improvement. The loudest feedback you'll ever receive comes from those you teach. You'll see what resonates, what confuses, and where you need to improve. This constant cycle of teaching, feedback, and refinement is what drives exponential growth. The beauty of teaching is that you don't need to be an expert to share your knowledge. You simply need to have walked a path that's worth sharing. Your experiences, insights, and lessons learned can be invaluable to someone who's just starting out on a similar journey. You can be a guide, a mentor, or even a quiet teacher simply by sharing your story and offering support to others. As you begin teaching, something profound happens. You refine your knowledge, deepen your understanding, and develop a sense of purpose that extends beyond yourself. You realize that your best insights are not just for you. They're meant to be shared with the world. You begin to feel blessed, knowing you are contributing something valuable to the lives of others. This shift from self-focus to service is what unlocks true fulfillment. It's what transforms learning from a personal pursuit into a meaningful contribution to society. So, how do you embrace the role of teacher? It's simpler than you think. Start small. Share your knowledge with a friend, a colleague, or a family member. Offer to mentor someone who's struggling with a particular challenge. Write a blog post, create a video, or share your insights on social media. The key is to start sharing your knowledge in a way that feels authentic and meaningful to you. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Teaching is a learning process in itself. You'll inevitably stumble along the way. The important thing is to learn from your mistakes and continue to refine your approach. The transformative power of teaching isn't just anecdotal. It's supported by cognitive neuroscience. Studies show that teaching activates different areas of the brain than simply learning or applying information. When we teach, we engage in higher-level cognitive processes such as planning, organizing, and explaining. This strengthens neural connections and enhances our understanding of the subject matter. Teaching essentially rewires our brains for peak performance. Furthermore, teaching promotes empathy and social connection. When we teach, we're not just transmitting information. We're building relationships and fostering a sense of community. This social connection is essential for our well-being and contributes to a more fulfilling life. Perhaps you've sensed a next level within yourself, a potential waiting to be unlocked. What if that next level is you becoming a teacher? Not a professor, not a guru, but simply someone who shares their hard-earned wisdom to help others navigate their own paths. So what do you know that the world needs? Write it in the comments below.